All right, welcome back, everyone. It's Friday morning again. I got my regular guest on, Joel Farrell from Strive for 25. And I think today we're going to kind of talk about interest rates because I think everyone's interested about that. But welcome back, Joel.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Did you go stay out late last night again, or?
No, I did not get in
Uh,
trouble last night. Thankful.
All right, good, good,
My
good.
midlife crisis is now over.
Did your I'm sure she didn't, but did your wife see the last episode? Are you talking about it?
She hasn't seen it yet. She hasn't seen it. I did clip it and put it somewhere because I was laughing. I was laughing my ass off after I watched it again.
Yeah, man, it's fun, man. I like doing this. Yeah, so kind of touch on it a bit. Like, what are you seeing with interest rates and after the last Fed meeting? Kind of what maybe do you see down the road?
Yeah, this is such a weird time. We haven't seen these, bond yields this high since 2007 before the crash. And if it's okay, I'm gonna try to share my screen and kind of show you what's going on.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
See if this will work. Oh,
Do you have?
host disabled. So you're gonna have to enable it.
Oh man.
So while you're doing that, I'll just kind of talk a little bit about bonds and prices. So like bond rates, bond prices are inversely related. Whereas like on the stock market, you'll buy a stock. If it goes up, you make money. If it goes down, you lose money. So on the bond side of things, it's inversely related. So like let's say somebody buys a bond, a 10-year treasury bond, and the rate's at 4.5%. So we're going to use a real example, 4.5%. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
All right.
So this is TNX. So this is on Thinkorswim software. The chart is TNX. This is the 10-year treasury index. So for whatever reason, they want to put an index out there where the decimal is one off. So like if you go to Yahoo Finance and type in 10-year treasury, you're going to see, 4.3, 4.5, somewhere in that range. Um, this is one decimal off. So this says 44.4. So this is a 20-year chart. So this goes all the way back to the early 2000s. So let's say an institution, a bank with millions, billions of dollars. Let's say that they were because like Silicon Bank is another example. They went under because they were taking cash that they had on their balance sheet and they were buying long term mortgage bonds at these levels down here. And if you buy a bond and then rates go up, your price, the value of your bond that you hold goes down because you can get a higher return on the bonds that are more available currently. Vice versa, if you buy a bond and the prices and rates go down, your bond that's at a higher rate is more valuable, and so the price of that bond goes up. So Silicon Valley went under because of part of the mark to markets where their balance sheet was imploding because they bought all kinds of long term bonds down here when rates were super low, and then rates started going up. They went under in 2022. So back to today, right? So this is the 10-year treasury. I have this level here kind of marked off in purple. This has been kind of a resistance point for a number of years. So it was acted as support here, support, and then crossed, and then crossed. So this is kind of a major level. And what I've been talking about on my platforms is, hey, if we cross this level for a meaningful period of time, we're going to be in no man's land, complete chaos, no man's land, because you don't see any type of meaningful trading until you get back up here in the sixes. So there's major level of resistance up here in the sixes. And so if you're long bonds anywhere from this time frame, you're scared shitless if this thing stays up here because if it stays here, you're going to have margin covering. A lot of these institutions are purchasing and trading on margin. So if the price of their securities goes down, they have to meet margin requirements by selling things. So they're going to be selling this because their bonds potentially because they don't know how far and long this is going to go. Because once you start having margin covering, things go crazy up or down, just the opposite of a short squeeze. And so when you talk about resistance level being in the sixes way up here, until things settle down. It could go way up high before it comes back down. So, um, what I was saying the last 2 days is that I I don't expect the Fed to be too hawkish with their comments, and they actually were more hawkish than I expected. Um, but if it stays up here, you're going to see blood in the water from institutions, from banks, liquidity crunch, because they're going to have to be selling bonds. So anybody that bought a bond down here on the way up is going to be in deep underwater doo doo. So that's why I think in the next 3 to 4 days we'll have a better vision and clarity of where things are. If we stay here, that and come back down, that means okay, the infrastructure as a whole knows that if this goes up, there's going to be a lot of chaos and blood in the water. On the flip side, there's a lot of people out there that think, hey, you know what? The elites, the market makers, the big wigs, they want to see blood in the water because they want to be able to crush the little guy and then make people sell and then scoop up assets, whether it be real estate or stocks or whatever it is. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just saying this is a major line in the sand. And if it goes this way, you're going to see a lot of blood in the water. If it comes back down, that means you're going to probably see more stability in the markets.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we're at some very unique times right now where no one really knows kind of what to expect. I mean, as far as, like you were saying, I think, there's a lot of people out there that think like the Fed is gonna basically keep going until something breaks. I mean, that's kind of what the plan is. And, they can always, lower rates after that. But I think they're afraid also of, pivoting too soon. And then inflation hasn't been, tamed, and, we're off to the races again. And now what are they going to do? Right. So I think that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, I I, I totally agree. Yeah, what's going to break first?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, they keep mentioning the, unemployment. And, if you're looking at that type of numbers, the economy is still strong from that standpoint, GDP, unemployment. So it's very you know unexpected areas that we're in right now where we just really don't know what direction we're going. And how would you, I guess, maybe prepare or plan for maybe 2024?
yeah. I mean, there's so much talk of markets crashing, prices going down, and if that happens, then that happens. What if it doesn't happen? Then people are just sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting. You get into 2024 and things just, well, let's say things just continue to kind of just stay status quo and trade range, for a while. And then I believe by middle of 2024 that you'll see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel with interest rates. Inflation is coming down, right? Coming down, coming down. So like last December, I think the actual monthly reading of CPI was like negative 0.1. So I wouldn't be surprised if because the last data reading was actually higher than they expected. I think in what was that, August, maybe
Yeah.
July, August.
August, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see inflation continuing to taper as we get into the fall months. Um, and so I believe rates will probably be coming down middle of the year next year. And also it's an election year, so they're going to have even more incentive to make things look rosy. Um, so what if things stay status quo and people are waiting and waiting, waiting? Well, then you miss an opportunity to get a deal because a lot of people are not buying things right now, whether it be crypto or stocks or real estate or whatever it is. Now, there's another faction of people that I'm seeing out there on different platforms. They're talking about, well, if they crash the markets right now, because the speed of information is so fast now. And if you look back at what happened in 2020 with COVID, I mean, March, COVID spreads, stock market plummets. I think you hit a low in like early April. It bottomed out, and then we just saw it just climb. So like you're talking about 3 or 4 month time frame for it to have major crater and then rally. And so if we're talking about you know a major crash and then recovery, I mean, it's very well you could have that happen when in 3 or 4 or 5 months. But by the time summer rolls are April or summer rolls around, then you could have rates coming down and everything looks peachy, and you clean people out before things rise. And so I don't know what's going to happen, but my biggest advice to anybody is just be nimble. If you're going to buy something that if things go to shit, you can have the cushion to be able to cover things for a period of time.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's, I'm probably maybe 6 months behind where I was hoping to be. But like you're saying, I'm trying to prepare with reserves and even as far as accessing as much capital. So for me, I'm trying to get myself in the best position for my next HELOC that's coming up. So I want to take out as much as I can. And, like they say, you don't have to use it, but I wanted there available for anything that may come up. And, it's going to be too late to try and access it. If you wait too long, if the markets, like you're saying, if things crash and things get bad, then getting money is going to be a lot harder. So that's why I want to try to position myself to get a biggest line of credit available, and you don't get charged on it until you use it. You may want to draw on it just so that they don't call it, but draw on it and maybe put it in a high yield savings account, so offset the interest. But that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now, just get into a position and like you mentioned, be nimble. So if I did find an investment that piqued my interest, I would probably be looking to pay all cash, or even
Yeah,
put maybe 50% down compared to
yeah,
20% down, so I have more cushion, like you say, more wiggle room.
yeah. The better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it mindset with the HELOC.
Yeah.
And in my world, I'm having this conversation a lot. And one of the things that I'm going to be building out is a simple tool that I can provide to clients, and it's just a simple average rate calculator. And they're out there, but I want to be able to have it specific to kind of the niche of housing. And this is what I mean. Let's say you've got somebody with a house that's worth $500,000 and they owe 200K on it, and the rate's at 3%. And they say, hey, you know what? I have a need for a bigger home for whatever reason. And to get the home that they want, let's just say more square footage, more bedrooms, whatever. It's going to be at 700,000, and the rates are double in the sevens. So like their payment maybe doubling or tripling if they go buy a new house. So if you sell, take the money from the down payment, buy the new one, and so maybe the payment's double, right? Now you have the whole mortgage at a higher rate. So actually, let's do that math. So let's say that you sell 500K, take 90% of that. That's my number that I use. Commissions, anything you got to fix up, title, all that. I just use 90% as a number. Minus 200K. So then you've got 250 cash. So then you go buy a property for 700, put 250K down. Now you got a loan for 450. And so um, the other side of that is, well, what if I take the existing house that I have, get a HELOC, keep my mortgage in place at 3%, and then do the renovation,
Yeah.
add the square footage, and then what's the better scenario from a number standpoint, from a pain standpoint, and time and all the energy? I mean, frankly, moving sucks. People don't want to move, especially if rates and payments are going to be higher. But what's even more painful than that, from people that I talk to, is renovating a house while you're still living there or having to move somewhere else. But then you can do it the way you want to do it, and you're still there. It's still your house. I mean, there's lots of pros and cons.
Yeah, I think that's where kind of maybe what area you're in as far as how efficient building an ADU or an addition to your unit is going to be. I think that's going to be a big business in the next few years or the next coming years, as people realize, like you're saying, they don't want to get rid of that interest rate they have, and for them to um, move up into a bigger home, they're going to basically double, triple their payment. Whereas if they, took out a line of credit or, added an addition to where they're living now, it might be more cost effective. They keep that interest rate in place. So I think, like you're saying, that remodeling business, even ADU business, I think it's going to be a big business in its next coming years.
Yeah, that's so true. And cash flow guy. I mean,
Yeah.
in San Diego, that's something he's been into. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to check out the full episode there.
Yeah, that's why I also I kind of told him to go check out that ADU guy. I don't know if you know Derek Sherrell.
Oh,
He's
okay. I need to write that
yeah, well
down.
he's on YouTube and Instagram. I don't think he's on X, but he's a retired well, yeah, he's a retired firefighter. I think he was based in California, but he's a big ADU. He does in California, so that is his business, and he's super efficient, cost effective. He puts great tips out there on YouTube, but he has it down to like a science to where I think his last video he had like an ADU for like 30K, and it rents for like 1500 or something.
We
So
built
yeah,
it for 30K.
yeah. So he basically looks for, he has like a total blueprint of what kind of house he's looking for, like where you can convert a living area that, it's kind of, it's not because even like my parents' house, there's a dining room and a living room. So it's like kind of, they're very similar, but it's like you don't really need both of these rooms. So he kind of looks for these type of houses, and then where the bathroom is located, that'll be like the best place to put the plumbing. So he has it down to a science.
That's pretty cool. I need to go check
Yeah.
him out. So on YouTube, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's on Facebook too, Facebook, Instagram,
Okay.
and he's a firefighter
And he's in a
or
firefighter.
retired. See,
Yeah.
that's where I want to be. I want to be retired.
So I did pull up the numbers on that. So let's say you bought that property for 300K, put 20% down, and your rate's at 3%. Let's say your mortgage balance is now down to 200K, right? So that payment was like 1,011, just principal and interest. And then sell it, get your 250K, put it down. And let's say your rate is 7.25. Now your payment, just principal and interest, is 3410. So, I mean, that's a 2000 something dollar difference. But then I have to do the math because you're talking about a HELOC now. I mean, get a HELOC. Prime is at what, 8.5, 8.25? I forget what prime's at. And a lot of these are being done prime plus half, prime plus one. So your rate may be in the nines. But
Yeah.
then it's adjustable, but you're only paying interest on what you actually use. So,
Yeah.
um,
So that's why I always talk about like Hawaii's favorable HELOC products that we have out here. I think I haven't looked recently, but I believe, you can still do like usually they have those teaser rates and whatnot, but I think you can lock in for like 5 years at like 5%. Yeah.
it's not
So
bad.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think and I
Prime is at
think
8.5% officially.
yeah. I mean, well, that's what I said. I haven't looked recently, but
Yeah.
just maybe,
Those
you
teaser
know,
rates. Yeah. I mean, because if it's a year long project, right, and you have a teaser rate that's a 6 or 5 or whatever it is,
yeah.
lock it in, and then once your project's done, then you could potentially refinance, pull all together in theory. And
Yeah.
if rates go down, 1% or two next year or whenever, then you can always refinance it. Now, and that's the thing is that like, you know, let's say that you owe 200K and the project costs 200K, right? So that your financing of old versus new at a higher rate is going to be pretty much equal. So like then getting into this blended rate calculation is kind of going to be, one of the things that's going to be important to really define what's more advantageous.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to get into the best position to get access to as much um from my HELOC as possible. So that's kind of why I'm
What are you thinking your target is that you want to be able to access? 100, 250, like what's your number?
well, so I know before the banks typically just went, well, so they would go off basically your property tax assessment, but only up to $1 million line of credit. Right? Yeah. And
Million dollar.
if you want more than that, you would have to get an appraisal. So I think right now I could access 400K probably without having to get an appraisal. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. But so currently I have one for 150, a HELOC, but my teaser rate on that is going to be coming up at the end of this year. So that's why I'm trying to get into position. for when that rate expires. For when I apply for the next HELOC, that that's kind of where I'm going to be.
So then let's say you've got X amount of cash available. You mentioned maybe you go buy something straight up cash.
Yeah. Yeah. So after
What's
talking
the
to self storage guy, I'm very interested in that now. But
that's
I
the
don't.
one business I just don't understand. Like why do people want to store? I mean, if you're moving and you gotta, have stuff stored for a little bit, like, but people storing stuff for periods of time, like I don't get that. Why do people need their shit? Like, I don't know.
Well, because a lot of places you have winter stuff that you may need during the winter, but the rest of the year you don't need it. So instead of it cluttering up the home, and people, I mean, people just run out of space after a while. I mean, they have just so much stuff in their home, and then they think, oh man, I need space for this, and yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, I don't get it, but I'm sure there's people
Sorry.
that have. No, no, no. I'm sure there's people that have stuff that just, certain
Yeah.
times of the year they need it, or maybe they're camping stuff. They keep all their camping gear there when they go camping. It's all in just one area, and that's where they keep it. And yeah,
Do
who
you
knows?
are you able to kind of map out an example of a scenario for that? Like, okay, self storage, go buy somewhere, buy it for this price, put this much money down, and then what's the typical type of revenue? Like, how do the numbers actually work out?
Yeah, Kevin kind of broke it down in our interview. Oh wait, did I? No, that's gonna come out on Monday. So he breaks it down.
Ooh.
But he did. So he I don't know if he 1031 out of something or he sold, but he sold a property that he had for a while, and he found a person in North Carolina that had a self storage that they were selling, and he found it on Crexy, I believe, and I think he paid all cash for it. I want to say it was around 700K he got it for. And then, yeah, he just kind of did some, he says, kind of like, I don't know, like Cody Sanchez and all of those, they talk about finding these boring businesses and older operators that are ready to retire and they haven't really upgraded their system. So that's what Kevin notices. You can put all these automations in, like for collecting payment, like security. Like if the payment hasn't been made, then the person's access code doesn't work, so they're locked out of their storage. And yeah, I mean, he really breaks it down, and he really got me intrigued, especially from the downside. He said there's not as much, like when you have rental properties, a lot of times, especially where your properties are, maybe the tenant is to have more of the upper hand as far as you trying to evict them or
Yeah.
what laws are in place. But as far as self storage, he said it's just like, yeah, it's basically you have this. If they don't pay and if they don't claim it in whatever, I forget what he said, but maybe 2 months, that's your property, or you can sell it or auction it off or whatever. So yeah, it very intriguing.
So, like, when you look at the numbers, the cash flow numbers can be stronger, simpler than just a regular rental property or obviously a short-term rental.
Well, yeah, because I mean, he said like his one that he just purchased. I want to say he had there's like 150, 180 storage units there. And it ranges from like 80 to 100 something per unit a month. I think it was. So and there's not a lot of upkeep, like maintenance, right? I mean, you don't have. So he doesn't have a lot of expenses every month. He does have someone that he pays to go check on his facility because he's doing it remotely. So yeah, I mean, yeah, man, you should reach out to him, man. Get him on your channel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna find him.
Yeah, he's in our league, man.
Is he?
He just beat me
Dude.
by like half a
Oh,
point,
oh,
man.
oh.
Yeah, you might even be playing him this week. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
Han's kicking everyone's butt, and Han doesn't even know how to set his lineup. He said he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. He goes, but yeah, he's like 2-0, man. He's killing us all.
All I know is I have one win under my belt, and
Yeah,
I'm
I got
gonna
one.
milk it as much as I can.
Are you gonna try to come to Vegas in February?
I have a lot of things to figure out right now before then. dude.
Well, see, if you didn't get in trouble the other week, then maybe you could go.
Maybe I could. No, like I've been in a lawsuit with our management company on the
Oh,
on my
that's
Florida
right.
property, and
Yeah.
like they've been withholding payments, and then we just won an injunction, and now I had to give up, provide a sizable dollar amount of a bond that they're gonna hold. So I just got shit to figure out.
Uh,
Keep cash
did
flow coming in.
did you did Dan reach out to you from Resilient REI before? Did he ask you to talk about any of your
Yeah.
landlord horror stories?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We've got it booked for beginning of October, and that was for a different one.
Oh,
It's a stripper pole property. That's going to be kind of the angle on it. It's a
what?
different property.
Man, you have like this secret world I don't know about. I don't know what's
Dude,
going on.
this story is a gift that does not keep on getting. It just won't stop giving. I mean, we
Hey,
still have the property. It's a
go,
long story.
going to concerts, Switchfoot, and oh, man,
I mean, what I need to do is I need to hire like a film crew, just follow me around, and people just
yeah,
laugh their asses off at my bullshit.
yeah. Maybe you better not come to Vegas. We might get arrested or something.
Don't say that out loud. Well, don't put that out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe you shouldn't come. But
They're gonna put that out there. No, I need to, I need to come. If I come to Vegas, that means that all this shit that I'm dealing with is gonna be resolved.
well, I think it's
So
gonna be great, man.
pray for me. Pray for me.
No, yeah. But yeah, it
You want
should be
you want
fun.
to know what I did?
I don't know. Am I gonna get my YouTube channel canceled if I do?
No,
Oh,
no, 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 no. But this is just like us out here talking about God
oh,
knows what every single week, right? Like
okay.
you've
Yeah.
got your job, you've got a podcast, you've got short-term rentals, you got your own, like you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
Both
I
have the
guess.
entrepreneur mindset, just trying to figure stuff out to be able to get ahead, to retire early, right? So I used ClickFunnels. I built a funnel and a landing page, and I have a couple. I haven't booked the paid for one yet, but I've got a couple of workshops that I'm close to booking at my short term rental property down in Destin, and it's going to be a workshop on real estate investing and also content creation. So the couple groups are realtor groups. And it's just another way because I can't right now it's not even up on VRBO because the other person's
Yeah.
blocking it. So I'm just trying to be innovative to be able to bring revenue in the door and also help people because right now your digital brand don't don't let this opportunity pass you by because it's there. Like it hasn't passed you by. There's still time to get into the game, build your digital brand to be able to help serve help people solve their problems and then make money along the way. Whatever service you sell, still time to build your
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah. I think it's a great time just because like, everything else is kind of slow right now, real estate and excuse me. Yeah, I think everything else is kind of slow. So I think it's a great time to kind of focus on that. But yeah, I mean that was definitely not what I was expecting. I thought you were gonna say like you started OnlyFans or something and but
Throw out my bear paws.
yeah.
I might have to do that at some point.
Well, hopefully this doesn't get canceled or well, we didn't say anything that yeah, but
Bear paws. No one's canceling this over bear paws.
true, true. But yeah, well, I was gonna say something else though. Yeah, that's another thing though about paying cash, self-storage. But I also was thinking about trying to get, like I said, I think I talked about it before, is like a Airbnb and kind of try and do it remotely. But I have to talk to more tax people to see if you do it remotely, will you still benefit from the short-term rental loophole for offsetting my active income. So that's kind of something I gotta look into because I don't think I can find a legal Airbnb here for that type of price point. You can find one on leasehold, but
Yeah.
that's basically doing arbitrage and you're not going to qualify for the tax benefits.
I mean, there's a like Destin 30A down in like the Panhandle. Those are places that are pretty expensive, but the west side of the channel, like in Fort Walton Beach and Navarre, like the left side of that area is much more affordable. And I've seen people gobble up some townhouses in the 200s that are
Yeah. It,
solid short term rentals.
yeah,
So
it
there's
wouldn't
just
even
different a lot
have
of
to
different
be.
options.
Yeah, it wouldn't even have to be like, I mean, of course I'd want it profitable, but it wouldn't even have to be if I can get the tax benefits, then that would be like super helpful to offset
Yeah.
my active income. And as long as it's kind of, but we'll see. I don't know. It's kind of driving me nuts. I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but sometimes I'm just shaking my head with what kind of questions they ask. But you don't deal with that, right? Well, I mean, you had that manager that,
Yeah, I mean, like the tenants, you mean?
yeah, the guest. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't deal with that.
I
Thank
think,
God.
I think I don't know what kind of clientele you have, but I think for us though, the ones in Waikiki, I think a lot of time, we have like tourists and foreign. So maybe the communication in our instructions sometimes might be a little challenging. So maybe that's where the problems come in, just because maybe they're foreign and we do have that language barrier or whatnot. Because even sometimes when they message me, I think it's through the translation, and even I'm trying to figure out what they're asking me, and it's
Oh
like,
wow.
what are you asking me? But yeah,
Yeah, and I know yours is kind of that apartment style, and you gotta have unique, entries and exits, and more complicated than just a house, right?
yeah, because a lot of times you need like elevator keys, and sometimes you're not supposed to leave lock boxes on the premise. Like some of the HOAs, like they're against that, so you're not supposed to have lock boxes there. So technically, you're supposed to meet, all the guests coming in to show them around. So
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, I get it. Some of if you live there, right, you don't want just anyone coming in and out of the building. So I get it. But most of the buildings, I mean, they're all short term rentals in that building. So it's like,
Yeah.
they should just make it easier. But yeah. What you got going on this weekend then? What is today? Friday? Yeah.
Yeah. Just gonna be hanging out with the kids, checking them out, trying to get them tired, working on a few things on the platforms at night. Oh,
Yeah. Hey.
we're going to go see Paw Patrol movie. I think on Saturday or Sunday. I forget which day.
Oh, didn't even know there was a Paw Patrol movie out.
I didn't realize it either until I saw it pop up on my calendar.
Uh, yeah, I did see someone post that about kids. Like you don't realize like how your motivation changes once you have kids. Like you just everything becomes quicker and faster, and you just start trying to get more stuff done, and just your motivation factor changes.
So true. It's so true. Like the time you had versus now, like how much time, quote unquote, not utilized properly or efficiently. Just wasted time doing just sitting on the couch doing just nothing. Like
Yeah, or waiting
in previous
backstage for an
times,
interview.
or waiting backstage. Yeah, yeah, wasting that time, all that time, and then to not even get the interview.
Yeah.
I had
Well,
I had a nightmare about that actually.
well, you gave me a good. I'm gonna post it in the comments, because someone else mentioned it. But so we're gonna have a poll then. If you look like Matt Damon,
It's funny you mentioned that because like one of my childhood, family, like grew up together with this family. We had siblings all kind of in the same ages. One of the girls that was in this family mentioned that a long time ago, like probably 20 years ago. I was like, yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't see it, but okay, I appreciate it. I mean, I admit I don't even know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, maybe it's the older Matt Damon.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right,
Oh,
man. Well, this was fun
great.
as usual, and we'll see
But
where.
what are you doing this weekend? What are you gonna do?
Well, I gotta go to work today. I'm on
Oh,
duty, and it's my cook shift, and we got the yard to do. So Sierra's gonna laugh about that, um, but yeah, today's my cook shift. We got yard, and then yeah, tomorrow I'm just gonna work on like content and stuff, and try to get all that done.
yeah,
So
your edits and your graphics, man. Shit. So
yeah, I'm having fun. I'm
people
having
need to be
fun with it.
paying you to help them with their stuff.
No, I mean that's too much work.
Well,
But
what you need to
I'm having fun though.
what you can do is make a guide for how you do
Mm.
this. And then the first 10, 20 people get it for free. And then you got to pay a buck and
Uh,
then just scale up and make money on it.
yeah.
I would
Sometimes
pay
it's just
for it.
luck. Sometimes it's just luck, though. I just,
Not
oh,
at this
let me.
point. Not at this
Well,
point.
sometimes
This
I'm
has been
like,
top notch
I'm gonna try
for a
this
while.
button. There's a new one. Just wait. I'm gonna start. I don't know this new AI feature. I don't know how to implement. I mean, it comes out with cool stuff. I just don't know really how I'm gonna implement it into the what I'm doing. But it has some pretty cool stuff. So I might just post it just to say, oh, look what came out, and it's pretty cool.
Which AI tool do you use?
Well, in CapCuts, they have an AI
Oh,
No,
okay.
wait. No, 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 no. Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, CapCuts.
Okay.
CapCuts and Canva both have the AI
AI. Okay.
image generator.
Are you using CapCut on a desktop or on your phone or mobile?
I use it on my phone. I mean, it's on
Okay.
my iPad and stuff, but yeah, yeah. That's the other dilemma. Like, do I get the new iPhone? Because I do so much stuff from my phone. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, because I
I
have
have the
a
12 and it's paid off, right? Or whatever.
yeah, like I think I have like a hundred and something gigs, 128 gigs, and like okay, this thing's always maxed out. I need to get like the bigger data packet, or the bigger memory packet, like 200 or 500. But
Oh,
my
wait,
phone's not paid off.
yeah. Well, the new one is like 1,000.
Oh
I
no
mean,
shit.
storage or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm like, I do so much stuff from my phone. It's like,
Yeah, if yours is paid off, you might as well. Is it out yet, or when does it come out?
today,
Oh,
today's
no
the day.
shit.
Yeah,
No shit. Okay.
yeah,
You should probably go get it. Maybe not today because the lines are going to be long, but go get it and you can
yeah,
do like 10 times more videos and put them out there. And then you can start selling your course,
yeah, yeah,
your graphics design course, whatever
yeah.
you want to call it.
Yeah, you like the ones when our faces are all messed up and
No, I don't like those. I look like a damn psycho
yeah,
thing.
but people it catches their attention. I look at the insights, oh, a lot of people
Oh,
watch this one.
okay. Okay. Man, you could be your own media company. Just gotta
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
just a year from now, just keep going. A year from now,
Yeah.
you'll be done with the firehouse and you'll be running your own media company.
And I'll have Matt Damon as my spokesperson.
I'll be your spokesperson. You better sign me now. I'm cheap.
All right. Well, yeah. So think about Vegas. I don't want to get arrested though, but I think you should come out there. That's the
Okay.
closest I'm going to get to you, probably, or for a while maybe.
Yeah. Although the Warriors are going to be starting soon. You know what we could do? We could get a little group to go down to Destin, Florida, book a workshop. Get our
Can do our next draft there next year, our football
we
draft.
could do a halftime party there, like halfway through the season. Do a party down there. Get everybody get the band back together.
Yeah,
Anyway,
maybe. Yeah.
it's pretty far away from you. Anyway,
Yeah. I don't know if Han would make it. Oh.
we have to make Han make it.
Yeah, he doesn't even know how to set his lineup yet. How's
Pay somebody because I forget what country he's in. Pay somebody to go grab him, put him into a cab, get him into the
yeah.
plane, kidnap him, bring him.
Yeah. He's in Singapore, I think.
Okay.
Think. All right, man. Well, thanks
All right.
again.
Get back to work.
Have
I'll
fun.
see
Yeah.
ya.
Well, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna cook today. That's what I
Mm.
gotta do. All right, man. Yeah,
Have
we'll
fun
do
with
this
that.
next week. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't get canceled or anything. But
Damn. If it does, I
thanks, man.
apologize. All right. See ya.
All right, man. Bye.